Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Silver Surfer has joined Marvel Snap, so of course today's video, and probably at least another video this week, will highlight a different Silver Surfer deck. A lot of people are playing him in a lot of different things. I think there's quite a few really strong decks that have emerged. I'm going to show you a couple of the variations of Silver Surfer decks that I'm playing. These need a lot of testing, they need a lot of games, they could be very well tweaked to be better, but try them for yourself, tell me what you think. So this concept essentially was forced upon me by my brother, but I appreciated it because I think it's really cool. Silver Surfer and Patriot combining. So these are the cards I currently have that I can fit into this deck. I'm going to go through all of them and then I'll jump into some gameplay. So what I'm going with is mainly a 3-drop curve that we know with Silver Surfer. So if you haven't really been up to date with the new cards, Silver Surfer just came out and he is a 3-cost 0 a power. On reveal, give your other 3-cost cards plus 3 power. So the other 3-cost cards have to be in play, and he gives them a big boost. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with him, with like Wong and other things, which I'll cover. But this deck is kind of trying to go with Silver Surfer and Patriot, who is a 3-cost himself, so he'll get that boost. But his ability is an ongoing. Your other cards with no abilities have plus 2 power. We combine both of those with Brood. That is the main combo of the deck. Brood. On reveal, add 2 Broodlings. He's a 3 energy, 2 power, and you get 3 of those that are all that. So Silver Surfer and Patriot will boost these guys up like crazy and make for a very powerful 1 location. That is the premise of the deck, but we need a little bit more value than just Brood. So how do we get that? So I'm using a couple of the other things from generic Patriot style decks, which is like Mystique, who I just pulled, who is the same stats as Silver Surfer, but on reveal, if the last card you played has an ongoing ability, this card gains it, so you can essentially duplicate either Patriot's ongoing ability, or I also have Blue Marvel in this deck, who's going to give a power boost everywhere. That's a pretty fun way. And then I have Debris, who's going to make some rocks across the board, and they are going to be blank cards that'll get the Patriot buff, and Debris herself will get +3 from Silver Surfer, which is fun. Got Cyclops, Wolfsbane as another 3-drop, just for some high power, and we have filled locations with Brood and, of course, Mr. Sinister, who makes he's a 2-drop, so he doesn't fit well with Surfer, but he fits well with Wolfsbane, and his clone has no ability, which fits well with Patriot. So there's all that shenanigans, and then I'm running a Shocker here, and Cyclops is vanilla cards, and I'm actually running the Killmonger Nova combo. So if you haven't seen this, the strategy here is essentially put just Nova as your only 1-drop in the deck, who on destruction gives your other cards +1 power. And then you run Killmonger, who will ideally kill some enemy 1-drops and only kill Nova on your side of the board, which will be a benefit to you. So that's the point of the Killmonger Nova combo. Now I do have rocks in here, so you have to be careful not to play Debris first and have those rocks be important at your locations and then play Killmonger, but that's a pretty easy play around that you can handle yourself. So that's essentially the style of the deck. It's a flood style deck. We're trying to fill up our locations pretty good and get some really good board buffs. There's probably going to be a couple locations where we don't have a huge chance of winning. I mean, 1 location per round. This isn't a deck that's going to often win all 3 because Surfer is 0, Mystique is 0, Patriot is 1. So those are some very low power cards. So they're going to want to try to be on the same location, buffing the other 2 locations to make both of the other 2 extremely winnable. So you probably have to throw 1 location. So it's a little bit telegraphed of a deck, so be careful of that. But you can really get some big swings on turn 6. Mainly, you want to save Surfer and even another 3-drop, and that's your turn 6. So that's the goal. There's a lot of other cards that go really well with Mr. Surfer. That's my formal name for Silver Surfer. A lot of other cards that go really well with Silver Surfer that I don't have, like Mr. Negative, who essentially will flip the stats of a card, so he'll be a 0-cost 3 attack. Don't have that card yet, but that'll be cool. But I'll show some other funny on-reveal decks tomorrow. I think Absorbing Man's really fun with Surfer as well. Also don't have him. So there's some other cards that if you want to try out in this deck, give them a shot, because they're definitely worth the try. I just don't have them, so this is the deck I'm playing now. So I'll jump into some gameplay. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure to do so now. We're almost at 1,000, which is our goal, so appreciate you helping us hit that. Let's jump into some gameplay here and see how it goes. Alright, we got Blue Marvel, Patriot, and Mr. Sinister. Not a bad hand at all. And the Nexus drops, so we definitely don't want to have our buffing cards on that location, because that will not help us. We need to have our vanilla cards and things like that over on the left that are going to get buffed. So we have Super Flow as well. So we got some really powerful game-changing locations here. So we got to see what's best here. I think we're going to try to put some of our main cards down on the left, and then try to get all of our boost cards to the right side. But we got to make sure that can happen. All right, yep, so we can do that. So we got Surfer as well, which is pretty good. So we want to try to fit some other 3-drops over by the Nexus. Let's see what he gets with Jubilee. Chavez, so it's a pretty good pull, but not something I'm super worried about just yet. I think we have a decent amount of counters for that. So I'm going to go with, so I have 5 energy. I'm just going to go with straight up Blue Marvel on the right. I'm probably going to lose Asgard, so he's going to get, well, it doesn't look like I lose it. He doesn't play there, so it looks like I win Asgard. I get the 2 cards, which is actually pretty great. All right, so now I'm on to turn 5. So Mystique can actually copy Blue Marvel, which is pretty great. And then I can play Killmonger on the left, and that puts 2 3-cost guys on the left, which is pretty great. And then it sets up for a nice turn 6 of Silver Surfer Wolfsbane, and we're trying to win those. So he is Daredeviling, so he gets to see. You guys don't know what Daredevil does. On turn 5, you get to see your opponent's plays before you make your own. Haven't pulled this guy yet. Really want him. He's super good. So he's playing White Tiger there, which is weird because he wants a lot. You want all your power on the Nexus, and he clearly doesn't have a whole lot. He could definitely have a lot more power over there than he does. But we're killing Nova, who's going to boost our board everywhere, which is pretty good. And now we have 6 mana for this turn. And this is the final turn. So we could do something like Brood on the left, which I think we will. So we're going to go Brood on the left, which is going to put 2 units there. This first Brood is not going to get the buff of Patriot, but it will get a double buff from Blue Marvel. The second Brood will get all of that, so he'll be a 6. And then Silver Surfer is going to come down on the, not that side, on the right side. And that will buff all 4 cards that are at the Nexus and be a pretty powerful turn. So we're going to snap because we feel really good about that. Wouldn't be surprised if we retreated, but this still kind of showed what this deck is trying to do. Obviously, with Super Flow, you have a lot more options than you typically would. But he's going to let the game play out. Feeling pretty good about it. So Surfer comes down and gives a nice plus 12 buff on that left location, which is huge. Doom doesn't do much, so yeah, nothing was really a big threat there. I think he just needs to not play his weaker cards here. I mean, Jubilee's fine. Daredevil shouldn't have been played on top of Nexus, most likely. White Tiger definitely shouldn't have been. But even still, I don't think anything in that deck, unless he gets Infinite down, if that was there, is going to compete with 37 on this Nexus. That's a huge number. So, pretty happy with how that game went. Let's see if we can get one more to show you off some of the other aspects of the deck. We got Debris, Mystique, and Blue Marvel, and Silver Surfer. So we got some interesting cards. Having some rock shuffled into our deck is a little bit annoying. Let's see what we get. Might get some rocks. There's a rock. So I'll actually play the rocks. They are vanilla cards, which get boosted by Patriot, and obviously they will get boosted by Blue Marvel when that happens, so it's not terrible. Debris is going to be pretty funny here, because he already has squirrels at every location, so we're going to try to fill up his locations a little bit. And we hit Patriots, which feels good, so I'm going to snap. I feel pretty solid about this. Debris is going to put rocks everywhere. Patriot's going to boost all those rocks. And then Mystique is going to boost all of those again because she's going to copy Patriot's ability, which could be pretty good. Let's see. So he's going to put a rock out and Misty Knight. And then I'm going to fill some locations up with more rocks. So taking up some valuable spots for him. So Patriot's coming out. But see, this is where a little bit of order of operations happens. So I actually need to play the rock first here. And then Patriot, because I want Patriot to be the last thing I played in order for Mystique to be able to copy that ability. But I also could have her copy Blue Marvel, but right now we have a lot of cards that are not actually ability cards, a lot of vanilla cards like the Rock, so I'd rather copy the Patriot card here. So I think I'm going to go with the rock on the left. That'll keep me a little bit flexible here. So I'm copying Patriot. So now I have 2 Patriot buffs on the board. All my rocks are 4 power, which is pretty great. And Blue Marvel is going to come down for a 5. Boost everything else as well. So I'm going to put Blue Marvel on the right. And then I'm going to put, yeah, so kind of expected that retreat. I have a pretty good board here. And I drew another rock, so That's kind of just a weird game where it shows Subterranea just kind of works well with this deck. So there are some locations that this deck just works really well with. But it played pretty well. I got Mystique into Patriot, and Debris kind of showed off some nice power. So that is the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a subscription to the channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget, keep on snapping.